I often daydream about winning a lottery. I can finally buy whatever I want, go wherever I want it. Or even better, I can finally walk off the hamster wheel of work. However, I'm faced with stagnant reality where financial freedom feels elusive. When I think about my future, reality of reaching retirement number, to what makes me feel financially secure sounds like a fairy tale. Perhaps, if I win the lottery or inherit fortune from a distant uncle, I can finally say goodbye to grueling commute, screaming boss, or unappreciative clients. Budget constraint in utility theory tells us our consumption is constrained by the budget, and as rational beings, we strive to maximize our utility, which is a measurement of satisfaction gained by each unit of consumption. In other words, utilizing resources we have in our hands. When we try to maximize within our budget, our consumption can be choosing between more vacation days or replace the old sedan in a garage. Whatever that gives the most satisfaction given our constraint. Most often, our budget increases incrementally, such as through promotion at work or earning a small fortune. They help to meet our expected level of consumption. It all seems logical that by having higher budget, we'll have more choices and greater level of utility. Sudden wealth like windfalls lift away any budget constraints that governed our decision. There are certain ecstasy and fascination in their unpredictability. With more money, we have less restraints in consumption. Who could say no to more money? It's a direct contributor to increase in pleasure. Windfall, however, misguides our judgment of where our true constraints now lies. When faced with unexpected abundance we have never had before, spending increases beyond the point of budget or optimal level of utility, often abolishing our financial sense. And many can't replace external constraint with internal discipline because utility is now at a much higher point to maximize. Behavior science tells that fortune earned without any meaningful work, people often spend more aggressively and freely because we don't have sense of boundaries anymore. Irony of worldly event is that spending at higher utility attracts attention we ourselves never sought. Wealth is not something that can be stashed away under a mattress, unless we choose to keep them hidden and live as ordinary as we did before. But when you have tens of $1 million in liquid asset, you're unlikely going to eat in the local pizzeria you frequent. Sudden changes in lifestyle attracts attention. Desire teaches us it's an intricate part of human nature that reaching a higher consumption only creates even larger craving for more. We love the feeling of having no constraints. Regardless of how much we possess, our desires are always at higher points than our budget constraints. Unconstraining life itself becomes our goal and utility, as you just don't see billionaires retire for the same reason. More striking concept is the law of diminishing marginal utility, which reveals a crucial insight that there is a limit to how much pleasure or satisfaction that can be derived for consumption. If we imagine consumption being measured in discrete unit, each unit adds to the total satisfaction or total utility, but each unit added increases at a decreasing rate. But most importantly, there comes a point where total utility begins to fall. Despite adding more unit, overall satisfaction drops. This shift marks the point where consumption no longer contributes to the total utility or overall satisfaction. Budget constraint theory shows ironic truth that because we have constraints, we can reach maximum utility. While constraints limit our consumption, it also gives us a reachable goal. It limits our desire from aspiring endlessly. Otherwise, if we have to desire a billionaire's yacht, we would be permanently dissatisfied. It's when we go through the grueling and rigorous daily grinds of sustaining our livelihood to push through our constraint. Consumption through spending comes with a higher level of satisfaction. Because we work hard, we can take pleasures from nice vacations, enjoy small luxuries. Because we have constraint, we have optimal utility. If our constraints are blown off, and everything is attainable, satisfaction we once knew fades. Meeting the optimal utility requires more extravagant means because our constraints are not blurred. We need higher consumption to meet pleasures of life. To realize even through higher consumption, our satisfaction is no longer sane because there's only so much we can find happiness from consumption alone. You may argue you have spent days researching that winning lottery ticket or executing the stock picking, but we demand a magnitude of money far more substantial than the labor invested. It's only natural in a capitalist society. Having more gives us a sense of superiority and power, as wealth is easily quantified. But no amount of money will satisfy our desire. Constraints may not feel like blessings, but they aren't forces we need to run away from either. And as the saying goes, it's the journey that counts, not just the destination.